Hey, look, Anxiety. We've landed in Inside Out 2, Joy Prison Run. It's a prison, but not just any prison. It's made especially for me. I never imagined seeing a prison filled with rainbows and balloons. Do you see these cells? They're practically glowing with happiness. This is going to be the most fun escape in history.
Wait a minute. A prison for Joy? How does that even work? Something feels off here. Maybe there are some strange traps hidden behind all these bright colors? And what are these chains that look like colorful ribbons? I'm not sure I want to find out how they work.
Well, if anything, those ribbons are so pretty that I wouldn't mind wearing them. Look, the first obstacle is a rainbow bridge we need to cross without falling into. Hey, is that a candy puddle? Whoever designed this prison clearly had a sweet tooth.
Joy, this is strange. Really strange. Usually puddles are made of water or something dangerous, but candy? What if we get stuck in it and can't move forward? Or worse, what if a giant lollipop attacks us? I can already imagine Barry from the previous mode disguised as a candy.
Well, if Barry turns into a lollipop, I definitely wouldn't mind. We'll just eat him and keep going. Come on, follow me. This bridge isn't that hard. Just don't get too distracted by the candy or you might lose your balance.
Are you serious? Easier said than done. This bridge looks like it could disappear at any moment, leaving us right in that sticky trap. And I'm pretty sure this bridge isn't as sturdy as it looks. How did we even end up here? I don't remember breaking any laws.
Maybe they locked us up for having too much joy. Who knows? By the way, up ahead is another challenge. A room with giant rolling balls. They move from side to side, and we need to dodge them so they don't hit us. It's like bowling, except the balls are colorful and shiny.
Balls? You mean we have to run so these giant balls don't knock us over? What if they're not just balls, but some kind of psychological attacks? Maybe they're trying to knock out all emotions except joy. And we're left with nothing but fear, for example.
Well, fear and joy aren't the worst combination, right? Okay, let's not dwell on the negatives. First, we dodge the balls, then cross the rainbows, and before you know it, we'll be out of here. I think it's simple. We keep moving forward and enjoy the process. Who knows? Maybe something amazing is waiting for us at the end.
Something amazing? I hope it's not a giant joy with a club. Okay, let's go, but if something goes wrong, I'm hiding behind the nearest rainbow. And if there are more traps, I'll just go back to our room, okay?
You know there's no turning back, right? But don't worry, I'm sure something awesome is waiting for us. After all, this is my level, so there can't be anything too scary. Come on, follow me. Hi there, it's me again, Joy. Today, I want to share an adventure that Anxiety and I had, which taught us something very important. We're so different, but that's exactly what makes us the best of friends. This time, our day started in a rather unusual way. Anxiety and I woke up early in the morning. I was full of energy and joy because we were going on a hike in the forest. The forest is my favorite place. There's so much beauty to discover. Sunbeams breaking through the tree canopies, birds singing, and the fresh scent of pine. I was sure it would be a day full of discoveries and fun.
As for me, well, let's just say that the hike made me a bit nervous. The forest was so big and mysterious, with so many unknowns hidden within it. What if we get lost? What if there are wild animals? Or if we encounter dangerous plants? These thoughts just wouldn't leave my mind. But Joy was so excited, I decided to go along with her, though deep down, I had my doubts.
As soon as we entered the forest, I felt a rush of happiness. Everything around us was so green and alive. We walked along the path, and I noticed everything. Butterflies fluttering around, flowers gently blooming in the clearing, and even cute squirrels peeking out from behind the trees. I laughed and said to Anxiety, "Look how beautiful it is here. Isn't it wonderful?"
But I noticed other things too. I saw how the branches of the trees were tightly intertwined, how the path was getting narrower and the forest darker. I couldn't shake the feeling that we might get lost. The further we went, the more my anxiety tightened its grip on my heart. I started thinking about what could happen if we took the wrong path. Joy, what if we can't find our way back? And what if it gets dark? I asked, trying to draw her attention to the possible dangers.
I stopped and looked at Anxiety. She looked really worried. I realized that her fears were not unfounded. After all, the forest was indeed vast and unfamiliar to us. I decided that we needed to be more careful and listen to her because she helps us avoid trouble. So I suggested, let's stick to the path and keep an eye on our surroundings. We're together, and I'm sure we can handle it.
Her words calmed me down a bit. We kept walking, and I tried to stay vigilant. We noticed the path leading deeper into the forest, and I suggested not going too far. Joy agreed, and we turned back. Despite my concerns, I started to notice that the forest wasn't as scary as it seemed, especially when you're with a friend.
Eventually, we found a wonderful clearing where we decided to have a small picnic. I brought some delicious fruits and juice, and we sat under a huge oak tree. The sun warmed us, and I felt all the worries start to fade away. Anxiety also relaxed a bit and began to enjoy the moment. We chatted, laughed, and were happy with how well everything had turned out.
I started to realize that I shouldn't let my fears take over completely. Yes, dangers exist, and they need to be considered, but sometimes it's worth trusting and just enjoying the moment. Joy helped me see that even in the scariest situations, there can be something good. The key is to find a balance between caution and enjoying life.
And I learned how important it is to listen to Anxiety. Her fears aren't always baseless, and sometimes they're what helps us avoid danger. Together we found harmony. I learned to be more attentive, and Anxiety learned to enjoy life.
So we returned from the forest, full of experiences and new knowledge. This day showed us that despite our differences, we make a great team. Joy helps me see the bright side of life, and I help us be cautious and prepared. Together, we can do anything.
And that's how, dear friends, even the most ordinary hike in the forest can turn into a real adventure when you have a true friend by your side, with whom you can share both joyful and anxious moments.
Good luck to everyone. Goodbye for now.
Hey everyone, be sure to like and subscribe. Oh look, Anxiety. We're in Embarrassment Barry's prison run obby. This is a Roblox classic. Just look at Barry. He looks like he needs to stop eating pizza for breakfast. And why is he so embarrassed? Maybe it's because his prison is full of such ridiculous obstacles.
Listen, I don't know why he's embarrassed, but I do know that we're not here by choice. We're in prison, and that means we need to escape ASAP. And that Barry, he looks like he could start chasing us at any moment. Do you see that huge belly? He definitely won't be running fast, but what if he suddenly rolls at us like a giant ball?
Well, that would be fun. Barry's like Indiana Jones, but with a belly. By the way, look, there's a whole room with giant donuts. This must be a challenge. We have to jump over the donuts and not fall into the glaze. What do you think if I fall? Can I at least lick a bit of the glaze?
No, no, and no. You're telling me these donuts are obstacles? What if they're traps? Maybe they're not as sweet as you think. And Barry is probably lurking around the corner waiting to catch us in the act, or in the glaze.
So what? I'm still going to be the first to jump through them. You know, the key is speed and confidence. Jump, 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 see? Easy. Now it's your turn. Just don't forget, if you fall, you'll stay sweet and sticky forever. Though, that might not be so bad.
Not so bad? I'm not risking my life for giant donuts. What if Barry triggers an alarm? Or worse, he creates even more embarrassing obstacles to keep us from escaping. What if he makes us jump through rubber ducks in a dirty bathtub?
Rubber ducks? That sounds even funnier than the donuts. Maybe after this, we'll be sent to the toy section of Barry's prison. I wouldn't mind that level, because there are too many bars and lasers here. We need more fun.
Fun? You're in a prison escape game, and you think it's not fun enough? Everything here is trying to embarrass us and make us do silly but dangerous things. Do you see those pipes ahead? I bet they're scorching hot. One wrong move and we'll be toast.
Or maybe they're not pipes, but some kind of pizza ventilation for Barry? If we're fast enough, we can toast a slice for ourselves. Just imagine, an escape with pizza in hand. That would be the tastiest escape in Roblox history.
Are you serious? Joy, this is no time for jokes. That Barry is right behind us. Do you hear his breathing? It sounds like an old vacuum cleaner, but that doesn't mean he won't catch up. We need to run through these pipes, not dream about pizza.
All right, all right. I'm running through the pipes. Just don't fall behind. And if Barry does catch up to us, we'll just tell him we're protesting against the bad prison food. Maybe he'll let us go for being honest.
Protesting? He'll probably make us cook for all the other inmates. Let's go before he changes his mind about letting us into the cafeteria.
I'm Joy, and together with my friend Anxiety, we went through an incredible adventure that changed our world forever. One morning, when the sun was shining warmly and everything seemed perfect, clowns started appearing from the sky. Yes, clowns, but these weren't the fun, jolly circus performers we all love. These were evil, sinister clowns with frightening masks and creepy grins. They weren't joking around. They were trying to take over our world, spreading terror everywhere. But of course, Anxiety and I couldn't just sit idly by.
At first, I felt a cold fear. Thoughts kept spinning in my head. What if we can't do it? What if the world is destroyed? What if this is the end of everything good? The clowns were everywhere, on the streets, in parks, even in people's homes. They were blowing huge bubbles of fear and panic, and it seemed like everything was about to collapse. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure if we could do anything at all. But then Joy came over to me, her eyes sparkling.
I told Anxiety that we had to believe. Believe in ourselves, in goodness, in the fact that we could find a solution. The world isn't as simple as it seems at first glance. There's room for both joy and anxiety, but the most important thing is not to let fear win. That's when I had an idea. The evil clowns feed on fear, right? So let's deprive them of their power source.
Deprive them of fear? I was both surprised and scared. How could we do that? Fear is such a strong emotion, and I know more about it than anyone else. I knew how hard it can be to deal with it. But Joy believed in me, and maybe that was the strangest and most amazing thing in the world. She took my hand and said, "Anxiety, without you, the world wouldn't be as interesting and colorful. We can defeat the clowns, but only if we work together."
And so our mission began. We came up with the idea to create massive waves of joy and laughter to disperse the darkness the clowns had brought with them. I gathered everyone who wanted to return to the brighter moments of life. Games, jokes, songs, dances. Everything was put into action. But fun alone wasn't enough to completely rid people of their fears. That's when Anxiety came up with something incredible.
I realized that fear could be our ally too. When we understand our fears and accept them, they become smaller, losing their hold over us. I taught people not to hide from their worries, but to face them head on and find strength in them. Together with Joy, we showed that fears are a part of us, but they don't have to control our lives. People began to understand that laughter and anxiety could coexist. And when the evil clowns saw that their fears were no longer scary, they started to disappear.
When fear lost its power, the world was once again filled with light and joy. People were no longer afraid, and smiles returned to their faces. The clowns retreated, their menacing masks melting like snow under the spring sun. Anxiety and I did it. It turned out that together we could create the perfect balance. I bring light, and Anxiety helps people understand and deal with their emotions.
In the end, I learned that there's no need to fear your worries. They're not the enemy. Sometimes they're just warnings about something important. And now that the world was saved from the evil clowns, I felt a little calmer. After all, with Joy by my side and belief in ourselves, anything is possible.
And that's how we saved the world from the evil clown invasion. Although the journey was full of anxieties and worries, it taught us that even the scariest moments can be overcome if you face them with hope and a smile. Yesterday, Anxiety and I went through a very eventful experience. My friend Tim was riding his brand new bike. He was so thrilled when he first got on it. The wind ruffled his hair, and his face beamed with a smile. Everything was going great until at some point, Tim lost his balance and fell. He rolled off his bike straight onto the ground, and I instantly felt my heart tighten. But I knew I had to stay calm and positive to help Tim through this moment.
And I was absolutely terrified. The moment Tim fell, everything inside me tensed up like a tight string. What if he's seriously hurt? What if it's a broken bone? What if he's now afraid to ride a bike? These thoughts spun in my head like a whirlwind, and I could barely keep them under control. I rushed over to Tim, trying to see how he was feeling.
Anxiety, of course. You immediately imagine the worst-case scenario. But I saw it differently. Tim was strong and brave, and even though he fell, it's just part of learning. Everyone falls when they're learning to ride a bike. So I started smiling and reminded him, Tim, you made so many laps without falling. This bike is your best friend. You just need a little more practice. I helped him get up, and even suggested joking about how he looked like a superhero as he tumbled down.
But I still couldn't stop worrying. I saw a scrape on his knee, and that made me even more tense inside. What if it gets infected? What if it leaves a scar? I immediately started thinking that we needed to clean the wound, cover it with a bandage, and of course, be more careful next time. My heart was pounding like a drum, and I knew this was important because safety is everything.
But I knew Tim needed to distract himself from the pain a little. So I started telling him how all great cyclists fall when they're learning. I said it's just part of the journey, and each such moment only makes him stronger. A scrape, well, that's just a sign that he tried and was brave. I suggested he think about how he would get back on the bike and ride even farther, without falling. See, anxiety, a little optimism can help us get through moments like these.
Of course, Joy's right that it's important to support Tim. But I was needed too. When Tim started feeling the pain from the scrape, he immediately realized that he needed to be more careful in the future. I helped him understand how important it is to take care of himself and pay attention to how he feels. Joy and I approached the situation from different angles. She helped him not be afraid and regain his confidence, while I showed him how to be cautious. Yes, and even though I was still worried, I realized that Joy helped him not to be afraid. We're both important to him. My concerns about safety and her positive outlook made sure that Tim not only learned from his mistakes, but also continued moving forward with confidence.
So in the end, falling off a bike isn't so scary. It teaches us to be brave, but also careful. Thanks to anxiety, Tim became more cautious, and thanks to me, he became more confident. Now every new day on his bike is full of joy, with just a touch of caution. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone, dear friends. Today we will be playing Escape Evil Inside Out 2 Prison.
Guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that Tim can make it to the end.
Look at this! It's our control panel! What's it doing here?
I don't know, but it smells terrible here. Is that fish? Canned food? Whatever it is, it's disgusting.
All right, let's go. I think it's a great idea to escape through the ventilation above. Guys, let's give it a try.
Oh no, it's really cramped in the ventilation. What was written on the wall? Did you see it?
No, Anxiety, I didn't see it. Maybe our viewers did. Guys, please write in the comments what was written on that wall. We're moving on. It's high up here, but we'll manage.
Oh no, it's really high up. Just look at those spikes down there. If our boy Tim falls, I'm about to cry from fear. I'm so worried for Tim.
Anxiety, calm down. See, everything's fine. We're not going to fall onto the spikes. Tim is okay. But where are we? And why does it smell so bad here?
Hey, who's that? Yeah, disgust. I'm starting to smell it too. Oh no, she looks a lot like our Joy. How dare she chase us?
We need to run faster. Guys, I don't know who that is or why her face looks like mine and why she's chasing Tim. There's no time to figure it out. We just have to run.
That creature is terrifying. Did you see how it looks? It's farting and chasing people. I'm really scared. Tim, please, let's go faster.
Phew, that was close. That was dangerous. I hope it gets safer and less disgusting from here. We need to find out who that was and why she looks so much like Joy.
Guys, I really don't know who that is. Maybe it's some kind of evil copy of me that wants to destroy us.
Destroy us? I'll destroy anyone who dares to touch Tim. Let's keep moving forward. No looking back.
This pit looks pretty suspicious. By the way, when did Tim get so good at digging so quickly?
Tim is smart and strong. He can handle these challenges easily. But where are we now? This place looks really unpleasant and disgusting. Tim, you need to find a way out of here quickly.
The exit is near. I can feel it. We just need to stay vigilant and avoid falling. It's simple, and I doubt anything will happen to us even if we do fall. Let's keep moving forward.
Joy, that's lava. It's dangerous. We need to be very careful.
What is this room? Everything looks so unusual and mysterious. I love puzzles and adventures, and this looks like a real challenge.
That guy clearly isn't happy about our visit. Why is he chasing us? We're just trying to find a way out, and he's acting like we've invaded his territory. We need to be careful and find a way to get rid of him before it's too late.
What a disgusting smell. It's as if the entire castle is soaked in filth and foul substances. I can't believe we ended up here. And that man, his appearance and odor are just horrifying.
Don't worry, it's all part of the adventure. We'll get through this. Let's see what's behind the next doors. Everything will be fine if we stick together and act as a team.
Congratulations. We escaped the castle, Tim. You did a great job. I hope we won't have to worry so much about our boy in the future. Keep up the good work.
Friends, let's share a couple of interesting stories with our viewers while Tim is going through these challenges. Please like and subscribe, and let's get started.
Once we went on a quest to find a lost treasure. The legend said that the treasure was hidden in ancient ruins, and only the bravest could find it. We decided to take on this challenge and start our adventure.
I felt the tension and worry because we didn't know what lay ahead. The ruins were filled with traps and puzzles. I was concerned that we might get lost or run into trouble.
I was outraged when I saw that some traps were especially devious and dangerous. I knew we had to be cautious to avoid falling into a trap and becoming victims of this treacherous treasure.
Inside the ruins, there was a lot of dirt and unpleasant smells. I didn't like being in such conditions, but I knew we had to continue our adventure despite the discomfort.
Finally, we found the key to the last puzzle, and it led us to a hidden room where the treasure was concealed. We were thrilled to have found it and overcome all the obstacles.
I felt relief when we found the treasure, but I was also wary. What if someone found out about our success and tried to take it from us?
I was glad that we managed to keep the treasure safe. We deserved this success despite all the difficulties and dangers.
Even though the treasure was found, I was still not pleased with all the dirt and troubles we had to endure. The main thing is that we completed the task.
We returned home with the treasure and were proud of ourselves. It was an incredible adventure, and we were all happy that we were able to complete it together. This is a story about how, along with anger, anxiety, and disgust, we were the emotions of Alex, a famous stuntman. Alex was performing in Hollywood, and his stunts were true artistry. When everything went smoothly, we celebrated his successes and supported him as he took the stage. Each stunt was a true celebration for us, and Alex always looked happy and confident.
On the day when everything went wrong, I was especially tense. Alex was preparing for a complex stunt that seemed too risky. I was worried that something might go wrong, and unfortunately, my fears came true. Alex suffered a serious injury. I was horrified and anxious about how this could affect his career and health.
When I learned about Alex's injury, I was furious. It was unfair that he ended up in such a situation. How could the organizers or the team not account for all the risks? I was scathing and angry at everyone who could be responsible for what happened. It was unacceptable, and I felt that Alex did not deserve such treatment.
It was unpleasant to see what happened to Alex. The injury was horrifying and disgusting, and it was hard for me to watch him suffer. I felt that the whole situation was the result of negligence and disregard for safety. It all caused me a sense of disgust.
Despite the heavy ordeal, we, as Alex's emotions, decided to support him during this difficult time. We knew he would not give up and would continue to fight. Alex was determined to recover and return to his work. We tried to boost his spirit and remind him that he was strong and capable of overcoming difficulties.
I was still worried, but saw that Alex was taking steps for his recovery. He was undergoing rehabilitation, working with doctors, and continuing to believe in the best. I was concerned about his health, but saw that he was doing everything possible for his recovery.
I was glad that Alex did not break down and continued to fight despite everything that happened. I was angry that he had to go through this, but proud of how he reacted to the tough situations. We continued to support him in his fight for recovery and safety.
Although I was still dissatisfied with what had happened, I saw how Alex turned his pain into motivation. He did not let negativity defeat him, and that was commendable. I hope that such situations would not recur, and that safety on set would be improved.
Alex managed to overcome his injury and return to his career, but now he was even more attentive to safety issues. His resilience and courage inspired us all. We were proud that we could support him during this difficult time. This story reminded us of the importance of being there for those we care about and finding light in the darkest moments of life.
Did you enjoy it? If so, give us a like and subscribe, and we won't stop. Let's keep going. Also, feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. Your support means a lot to us.
We, along with anger, anxiety, and disgust, were Tim's emotions when he participated in a football tournament. It was an exciting time, full of anticipation and hope. We were all thrilled when Tim and his team made it to the finals. It was the moment we had been eagerly awaiting.
On the day of the tournament, I was filled with anxiety. It was the final match, and the whole team was under immense pressure. I worried that Tim and his friends might make mistakes or face difficulties. We wanted everything to go perfectly, but were anxious about every detail, from the condition of the field to the team's preparation.
I was determined. When the match started, I was ready for any challenges. I felt anger when I saw the opponents playing aggressively and using dirty tricks. I wanted Tim and his team to not fall for the provocations and to keep fighting until the end. We had to show that we could overcome any obstacles.
I was skeptical and felt disgusted at moments when the game became tense. There were instances when the referees made questionable decisions and the opposing players didn't always play fairly. It was unpleasant and made me uncomfortable. I feared that this might affect the outcome of the game.
Despite all our worries, Tim and his team played incredibly. They fought for every ball, and their perseverance and teamwork impressed everyone. And then, at the very end of the match, when the score was almost tied, Tim scored the decisive goal. It was an amazing sight, and all the spectators and we, his emotions, were on cloud nine with happiness.
I was filled with relief and joy when Tim and his team won. All the tension and fear I felt disappeared when we saw them celebrating their victory. I was proud that all their efforts and training had yielded such wonderful results.
I was incredibly proud of Tim and his team for not giving in to provocations and fighting until the end. The victory was well-deserved, and I was glad that we managed to prove our strength and endurance. Everything was great, and we got what we deserved.
Although I didn't like some of the unpleasant moments in the game, I couldn't help but be happy for Tim and his team. They overcame difficulties and achieved success. The victory was well-earned, and it showed that despite all the challenges, they managed to overcome every obstacle.
So Tim and his team won the football tournament, and it was an incredible victory. We were all thrilled to see them enjoying their success and celebrating their well-deserved win. This story showed that hard work, support from friends, and loyalty to one's team can lead to amazing results. We are proud of Tim and his team and happy to have been part of this wonderful moment.
Thank you for joining us and following our adventures. We hope you enjoyed our stories and had a great time watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss our new videos. Bye for now.
Hello everyone, dear friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Today, Tim is playing a mode called Anxiety Inside Police Prison Run Escape.
Guys, your support is really important to us. Without you, Tim won't be able to overcome these very scary and dangerous obstacles. Subscribe and hit the like button.
Today, Tim is escaping from the prison of anxiety. I'm really angry. Anxiety, why did you lock Tim in this prison? Huh? That's very mean. It makes me furious.
Anger? I don't think it was anxiety. She couldn't have done that, although who knows. But this place is really disgusting and gross. Tim, let's get out of here quickly.
Guys, don't panic. Be optimistic. This is just another one of our adventures, and it must be an evil copy of anxiety that locked us up here. I'm not sure, but I definitely like our new adventure.
Guys, How could you think it was me? I'm really scared of all this. I swear, I'm really worried about our boy Tim. I would never do such a thing to him.
Oh no, she locked up Envy, and I definitely don't envy her. Why is this fake copy of anxiety bothering us? I'm so angry.
Oh no, she's disgusting! We need to rescue Envy as quickly as possible and avoid crossing paths with that revolting creature.
Guys, no need to panic. We've got explosives to break the cage and free Envy. Come on, Tim. We have to help her.
Oh no, this is really dangerous. I'm so worried about our boy Tim. Please be careful.
What the heck is this? What kind of nonsense is this? It makes me so angry. I'm about to erupt like a volcano. What the heck? Whoa! That's an explosion.
Oh my gosh! This smell is so disgusting. This place is terrible. It reeks. The vibe here is so dull and gross. Ugh! Tim, let's hurry up and get out of here. We've helped Envy escape, so we did a great job. But now it's time to leave.
Guys, we helped Envy escape, and that's awesome. Now let's stay positive and start finding our own way out of this prison. I believe Tim can do it. He's a smart boy. What do you think?
We're back in the ventilation system, and it's so cramped and scary in here. I believe in our boy, but I'm really worried. What if something happens to him and he can't make it out?
Seriously? A bathroom disgust. How are you holding up?
Oh, no. This is awful. It's disgusting. Why does it smell so bad in here? I can't stay here for long. You all saw it yourselves. I think I'm about to puke. Yes, definitely. I'm close to it. Tim, let's get out of here quickly.
Disgust. Keep it together. It's okay. Tim has escaped the restroom, so you won't feel nauseous anymore. Everything's fine. Tim is heading in the right direction. Keep it up.
Thanks. I'll try to keep it together. I see that Tim has already left that awful room and is heading in the right direction. I'll hang in there and support him despite all the unpleasant moments. Go, Tim. You've got this.
All right. I think it's time to share a couple of interesting stories with our viewers. Guys, are you subscribed to our channel? If not, I'll give you 5 seconds to subscribe and hit the like button. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Did you make it? If not, I'll give you another 5 seconds.
Well, all right. This touching story will move you, I promise. The atmosphere at the stadium was amazing. Tim and his team were playing in the finals of the football tournament, and I was just glowing with happiness. They demonstrated incredible skills and teamwork. I saw Tim becoming more confident with every moment, and it was magnificent. When the referee blew the whistle announcing Tim as the winner, the stadium erupted with cheers. Everyone celebrated the victory, and Tim was on cloud 9.
Although I was happy for Tim, I have to admit I had a bit of anxiety. The competition was over, but all this attention and emotion could affect his self-esteem. Also, when the cheerleader started showing interest in Tim, I worried that it might be too overwhelming for him. What if he doesn't know how to handle the newfound attention?
I had to tamp down my surge of anger when I saw that cheerleader approaching Tim with a loving look. He had just won the tournament, and now this stranger was clinging to him. Why did she have to appear right now? At first, I didn't understand how Tim would handle this new attention, and it just infuriated me. But of course, my anger gradually subsided when I saw Tim accepting her compliments with a smile and a bit of shyness.
I can't hide that I was a bit disgusted by the whole situation at first. All this attention, flirting, and the pink hearts against the backdrop of a sports victory seemed a bit excessive to me. But when I saw them smiling together, my disgust started to turn into understanding. After all, these are just emotions, and no one can stop Tim from being happy.
All these emotions actually turned out to be wonderful. When Tim and the cheerleader started talking, I saw how both of them became more joyful. They talked about the football tournament, how Tim always dreamed of becoming a professional footballer, and how the cheerleader had always admired his play. I felt overwhelmed with joy when Tim asked her to meet again.
Of course, I was still a bit anxious. What if Tim was too nervous and couldn't relax on the date? What if he couldn't find common ground with the cheerleader? But I saw them chatting happily, and it reassured me a bit. If they feel comfortable with each other, maybe everything will turn out well.
I finally realized that my anger was misplaced. Tim deserves happiness, and if this girl makes him happy, then why not? I saw him laughing and joking with her and understood that my angry feelings were just unnecessary. It seems like it was a good experience for him.
I can't hide that I was a bit disgusted by the whole situation at first. All this attention, flirting, and the pink hearts against the backdrop of a sports victory seemed a bit excessive to me. But when I saw them smiling together, my disgust started to turn into understanding. After all, these are just emotions, and no one can stop Tim from being happy.
In the end, Tim and the girl agreed to a date, and I saw them walking together, happy and smiling. It was wonderful. I'm glad they found each other and can share their feelings. Sometimes when you win something important, life gives you unexpected but very pleasant surprises. Tim is now not only a football tournament winner, but also a happy guy starting a new chapter in his life.
Hey guys, how did you like our story? Did you enjoy it? Want more? If so, make sure to subscribe and like our channel. Your support means a lot to us. And now, let's continue.
It was an amazing day. Tim and I decided to have a picnic in the park, and everything was going perfectly. The sunshine, fresh air, delicious food, I was practically glowing with happiness. Tim was in a great mood, organizing everything down to the smallest detail. Tasty sandwiches, fruit salad, and even a folding chair for comfortable seating. Around us, kids were playing, families were enjoying their time together, and Tim seemed to radiate joy. I was thrilled with how everything was unfolding.
But just as everything started to seem perfect, I felt a bit of anxiety. I saw Tim opening the food package and suddenly remembered that he might have forgotten about his nut allergies. A small worry crept in. What if someone brought nuts, or if the salad had ingredients that could trigger a reaction? I couldn't shake the thought that something might go wrong, and it was bothering me.
Then I noticed someone starting to launch balloons right into our picnic area. These people didn't seem to care at all that others were relaxing around them. Balloons were flying, and some landed right on our tables, messing up the food. I was furious. How could people be so rude? This was our day, our picnic, and someone was ruining it with their antics. I could feel my irritation growing with each passing minute.
All these balloons and trash around me became absolutely disgusting. When I saw someone inflating a balloon and throwing it in another direction, it accidentally landed in our fruit salad. It was a nightmare. I couldn't look away from the horrible sight, and everything started to look so dirty and unpleasant. I nearly lost my appetite, and it was a real test for my nerves.
But as soon as I saw Tim approaching the group with the balloons, calmly explaining the situation with a smile and humor, everything started to get better. He asked them not to launch balloons near our picnic and suggested a new spot for their activities. It was an incredible moment. Tim managed to keep his composure and kindness even in a difficult situation, and it made me incredibly happy. In the end, the celebration continued, and everything became much more pleasant.
I felt more at ease seeing how Tim handled the situation so effectively. Of course, I was still a bit worried about potential unexpected incidents, but it seemed like everything was going in the right direction. Tim had everything organized, and I could relax a little. He confirmed that everything he brought was safe, and I felt relieved.
My anger gradually subsided. Seeing how Tim managed everything and how people started to follow the rules, I calmed down. Sure, there was still some lingering irritation from how the situation started, but now that everything was settled, I realized that sometimes you just need to take a break and let go of anger.
Although some traces of balloons and trash still remained, I saw Tim and his friends cleaning up the leftovers and tidying everything up. I noticed that even in such situations, you can find something positive. We were able to enjoy the picnic again, and I felt better seeing that things were returning to normal.
In the end, we continued our picnic, enjoying the food and good company. I felt happiness again seeing Tim laughing and interacting with friends. Even if things didn't go perfectly, we still made the day special. It's a reminder that even in tough moments, it's important to stay positive and find joy in every moment.
Well, guys, while we were sharing stories, Tim has already reached the end. He just has to defeat the final boss now. Tim, you're almost there. Go for it.
Subscribe, like, and goodbye, everyone.
Hello, everyone. I am Joy, and we have entered a very scary mode that our subscribers recommended. We are in a pizzeria, but it seems to me that no pizza was ever made here. It's very creepy. All the tables and chairs are overturned.
Oh no, where have we ended up? Joy, what is this? It's very bad and scary here. Subscribe and like so we can get out of here.
We will crush this Papa Pizza. Lava is about to come out of me, and his pizzeria will completely burn down. Damn it! Why is this elevator taking so long? I'm going to open these doors right now.
My God, what are these saws? Why are there saws in a pizzeria? Are we really going to be okay? Will we get out of here?
Ew! What kind of disgusting stuff is coming out of these rusty pipes? I hope this is food? Subscribers, can you leave your opinion in the comments? Is this food or something else? It smells terrible. We need to get out of here quickly.
What cute traps! We won't get caught in them, right? Why is he jumping? I'm really scared for our boy Tim.
Traps! Tim passed them without looking. But what next? Where the heck is the light? I'm about to burst into flames. Who turned off the light?
Oh no! Someone is chasing us! We need to run! Faster! He must escape from this scary man! Come on, Tim!
Phew. Okay, it seems we got away, but anxiety. Why do you think that chef wanted something bad? Maybe he wanted to treat us to something. What do you think?
Treat us? Maybe with stinky socks. Ew, that's really gross and awful. Tim did the right thing by running away, but now we're in some kind of sewer. Ew, it smells horrible here. Probably where all the stinkies from the whole town live.
This pipe is very small. I hope Tim doesn't fall right into that lava. He needs to carefully and slowly make his way to the end, and then maybe we can get out of here.
Enough already! Why are we still here? I'm gonna smash everything around me right now if this ladder isn't the way out. Oh my God! What our hell? Joy, what are we doing in the bathroom? Ah!
Anger? Calm down. Everything is fine. Tim will leave this room soon and everything will be okay. Don't be angry. It's just a small room.
What's happening here? Cobwebs? We're scared of spiders. They're big, scary, and gross. Look, they're everywhere. One on the wall, another really close. I hope Tim handles this challenge. Just don't look at spiders.
Oh man, what a grossness. Oh no, where are we now? Where did we stumble into? It's cold and there are rats running around. Maybe we'll meet some ninja turtles.
I want to tell you a story about how, a few years ago, my friend Anxiety and I were the emotions of a scientist. It was an exciting time, full of unexpected twists. Our scientist was known for his anger and gloominess. His name was Dr. Grimm. He was brilliant, but his heart was filled with anger and distrust towards the world.
I admit I was always afraid of Dr. Grimm. He could be scary, especially when his experiments didn't go as planned. Every morning I woke up with a sense of unease about what the day would bring. But one day, everything changed. We realized we had to help Dr. Grimm become a better person.
I always believed that there is goodness in every person, and Dr. Grimm was no exception. Our plan began with small changes. I tried to evoke bright childhood memories in him, times when he was happy and carefree. At first, it wasn't easy. Dr. Grimm resisted, pushing away the happy thoughts. But over time, I began to notice small changes in his behavior.
My role in this process was important too. I helped Dr. Grimm become aware of his fears and anxieties. He was afraid that his work would be misunderstood and rejected. We started working on helping him learn to accept his emotions and not let them control him. It was a long journey, full of setbacks and doubts, but gradually, Dr. Grimm began to open up.
One day, when Dr. Grimm was working on a new invention, he suddenly laughed. It was a miracle! We knew he was on the path to change. His anger started to dissipate, and instead, a spark of hope and curiosity appeared. He became more kind and attentive to the people around him.
Every day, I saw Dr. Grimm becoming calmer and more confident in himself. He began to share his ideas with colleagues, seeking their opinions and advice. His inventions started to benefit people, and he saw that his work could bring joy and help others.
And so, after a few years, we saw a true transformation. Dr. Grimm became a kind and responsive person. He was no longer immersed in anger and hatred. We managed to help him see the world from a different perspective, and this became our greatest achievement.
Now, when I look at Dr. Grimm, I no longer feel fear. Instead, I feel pride that we were able to help him change his life. It was a difficult but incredibly important mission.
And so our story ended. We proved that even in the darkest heart, light can be found. The main thing is to believe and never give up.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. And now let's move on to the next story. Usually, I'm involved in the most tense and conflict-ridden situations. But this time, it was different. A few years ago, we were helping our boy, Tim. At school, he liked a girl named Lena, and he didn't know how to get her attention. Yeah, it sounds strange that Anger, was involved in this. But trust me, it was an incredible story.
Oh, Tim was so indecisive and clumsy when it came to Lena. He needed help not only with his emotions, but also with his hygiene and style. Tim often looked unkempt, and that could scare Lena away. I immediately knew I had to step in to guide him in the right direction.
At first, Tim was just angry at himself. He was mad that he couldn't muster the courage to approach Lena. He often grumbled and lashed out at his friends. I helped him channel that anger on the sports field. Tim and I ran, played soccer, and engaged in various active sports. This helped him deal with the tension and become more confident.
My task was a bit different. I helped Tim understand that he needed to take care of his appearance. We started small. I taught him to shower regularly, keep his clothes clean, and use deodorant. It was important for him to look well-groomed. Then we worked on his style. Tim began wearing more stylish and neat clothes that suited him and highlighted his individuality.
Once Tim became more confident, we started working on his communication skills. I taught him to stand up for himself and speak clearly and confidently. We practiced different scenarios for talking to Lena so he wouldn't be lost when meeting her. Sometimes I had to direct his anger towards something productive so he could express his emotions with words rather than aggression.
At the same time, I helped him avoid situations that could cause Lena to feel disgusted. We worked on his manners and behavior. Tim learned to listen, be attentive, and caring. I reminded him that the little things matter, like not picking his nose, not chewing with his mouth open, and being polite.
The day came when Tim finally decided to approach Lena. He was a bit nervous, but I directed his energy in a positive way. He approached her with a smile and confidently started a conversation. We all watched this moment, and it was incredibly exciting. Lena smiled back, and they started talking.
Tim did everything right. He was polite, well-groomed, and confident. Lena noticed his changes and began to show interest. Over time, they started spending more time together, getting to know each other better. Anger and I were proud of Tim because he managed to overcome his fears and insecurities.
Guys, do you want another story? Then hit the like button and subscribe. This happened on a sunny day when Tim decided to ride his new scooter. He loved riding it and was in a great mood. Everything was going perfectly until...
He lost his balance and fell. Tim was going too fast, and suddenly the scooter jerked, and he fell right to the ground. I immediately felt Tim's anger towards the scooter, the road, and himself. He screamed in pain and anger.
Oh no, when Tim fell, he hurt his leg badly. He had a big scrape, and it was bleeding. I immediately felt disgusted by the sight of the blood and dirt on his leg. It was hard to look at, but I knew we had to help.
I immediately worried about Tim. What if the wound was serious? What if it got worse? I was scared for him. I suggested that he needed to get help quickly.
But it wasn't all bad. Tim's friends were nearby and they rushed to help him. One of them ran to get an adult, while another brought a first aid kit. Tim was scared and angry, but he realized that his friends were there to help him.
Yes, Tim was still angry, but his anger began to fade when he saw his friends trying to help him. He realized that anger wouldn't help in this situation. Something needed to be done.
The friends carefully cleaned the wound despite my disgust. They used clean water and wipes to remove the dirt and blood. Tim was in pain, but he tried to endure it.
Then an adult arrived and helped Tim. They put a bandage on the wound and reassured Tim, saying everything would be all right. I felt a bit better knowing someone who knew what to do was there.
Once the wound was treated, Tim felt relieved. He thanked his friends for their help and realized how important it was to have such caring friends. Tim smiled, and I felt joy again. Even you can find something good. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. It's me, Joy, along with my friends Anxiety, Anger, and Disgust. Today, our boy Tim is going to take on the exciting mode called Disgust Barry's Prison Run. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that Tim can get out of here safely.
What? Disgust! Why did you lock us up in this prison? Why did you lock Tim up? This could be really dangerous.
What? Disgust? Are you kidding me? This is your doing? I'm furious. Why would you do this?
Guys, believe me, I really have nothing to do with this. Maybe it's just a poor imitation of me. I would never do something so disgusting to Tim.
Guys, let's not fight. We're a team, we should stay positive. Besides, look around, it's actually quite fascinating and interesting in here
And very dangerous. Every room here feels like a nightmare to me.
Oh, wow, look! Do you see that figure up ahead? It looks just like disgust. How is that even possible? This is infuriating. I'm boiling with anger. How dare they?
We need to find a way out of here. Hey, look over there. Ventilation. If we can reach it, we might be able to escape.
Ugh! Why is it always ventilation? It's so dirty and cramped. But fine, if this is our only way out, we'll have to crawl through it. But I'm protesting.
We're almost there. Just a little more and we'll be saved. It's so exciting, like being in a real movie. We'll make it and everything will be all right.
We did it! We escaped! Now he can't get us, but we need to keep moving to find the exit and finally put this nightmare behind us.
Oh, it stinks so badly here. It's really disgusting. I can't wait until we finally get to fresh air. I hope this path leads to something less revolting.
We're heading down. Tim, are you sure this is a good idea?
Don't worry, Anxiety. Tim always has everything under control. Just a little more and we'll be free. I'm confident about that.
Wow, where are we? What is this dungeon? Everything looks so bright and big. It feels strange.
And it also smells really bad. Oh God, when will we get out of this horrible prison? Subscribers, help us out! Please like and subscribe to our channel. It will give Tim the motivation to keep going if he sees that hundreds of people are rooting for him.
Oh no! This bridge is very dangerous. I'm really worried about our boy Tim. Please be careful, Tim. We always end up in risky situations.
The bridge is crossed. Everything's fine, Anxiety. No need to panic. Tim will handle it.
So here's another challenge ahead. It looks easy, but we need to be extremely careful. Oh no, what's that huge ball? It could crush us.
Tim, run faster. This is very dangerous. Don't get hit by the ball, please. Wait a minute. What are those on the walls? Are they memories? But where did they come from? What are they doing here?
Guys, I'm starting to get confused. The control panel at the beginning, the memories, the bright objects. Where are we even? Maybe Tim ended up in someone's head. Perhaps somewhere in a memory warehouse?
I don't know, but I'm really scared. A copy of Disgust is chasing us again. How many of them are there, and why does it look so much like our friend?
I'm about to erupt lava, I swear. I'm so angry. This is happening again. This place is full of mysteries we still can't solve.
Phew, it looks like we've escaped. She was so disgusting. I'm glad Tim got away from her. She looked terrible and smelled even worse. I hope we don't run into her again.
Guys, let's run up the stairs. See, everything's fine. We're safe for now. No need to panic or be scared.
How about we share a few interesting stories with our viewers while Tim finds his way out?
I think that's a great idea. It will help us distract ourselves from this nightmare and feel less scared. Everyone, give us a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to hear some stories from us.
Well, I think our viewers have already liked and subscribed. Tim was always looking for adventure, and here he found himself in an abandoned castle full of mysteries and secrets. He was thrilled to discover such a place, and each new discovery brought him more joy. Exploring the ancient corridors and investigating old objects was a real pleasure for him. I was happy with him, seeing his enthusiasm and excitement.
But with each step, I became more and more nervous. The castle was dark and abandoned, and the silence around us only intensified my fears. Every creak and rustle made me anxious, and I worried that Tim might run into something dangerous. My concerns grew as he explored dark corners and labyrinthine hallways. I was worried for his safety and was on the verge of panic.
When strange things started happening in the castle, I couldn't stay calm. Doors creaked, and sometimes it felt like someone was watching us. This was outrageous. Why did the old castle have to be so mystical and frightening? I was ready to fight these mysterious forces to protect him and ensure his safety. I couldn't stand by and watch the castle scare him.
Some parts of the castle were just disgusting. We encountered decaying furniture, moldy walls, and dust that was almost visible. The smell of mustiness and decay was terrible. These places were so dirty and unpleasant that I felt uncomfortable. The castle was not only scary but also extremely unpleasant to the senses.
Despite all the difficulties and fears, Tim continued to enjoy the adventure. He found an old diary that told the story of the castle's past and its inhabitants. This was a real treasure. Tim was thrilled with his discoveries and proud that he could uncover part of the history of this mysterious place. His joy and satisfaction were contagious, and even in the spooky atmosphere, he continued to find positive moments.
As events became more strange, I was on the verge of panic. Instead of the usual silence of the castle, we began to hear eerie sounds and creaks, and in some places, the air felt heavy and oppressive. I worried about Tim's safety and wanted him to get out of this scary place as soon as possible.
I was infuriated when Tim encountered the most frightening parts of the castle, full of creepy frescoes and symbols. Why did the old place have to be so horrible and uncomfortable? I was outraged that the castle was trying to scare Tim and disrupt his adventure. This was unfair and unacceptable. I wanted Tim to leave all these scary things behind and find a safe place.
When Tim finally got out of the darkest corners of the castle, I felt relieved. The castle was not only scary, but also an extremely unpleasant place. I was glad that all of this was behind us and hoped Tim would never encounter anything like it again.
Despite all the difficulties, Tim was thrilled with his discoveries and adventures. He was proud that he had overcome his fears and explored the abandoned castle. Coming home brought relief and joy. Tim told his friends about his impressions, and his eyes once again sparkled with happiness. This adventure became a unique and unforgettable experience for him. We were all glad that, despite all the fears and discomforts, he found joy and satisfaction in this unusual journey.
So guys, did you enjoy it? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really motivates us to take on new challenges.
The next story is about how we were emotions in the mind of an evil scientist. When we found ourselves in Dr. Green's mind, an evil scientist, I was consumed with righteous anger. He used his intellect to create things that could harm others. It infuriated me. How can one waste their talents on destruction when they could be creating something useful? I decided our task was to channel his energy into a more constructive direction.
We started by trying to spark an interest in him for things that could bring joy and benefit. Instead of dark experiments, we aimed to inspire him to focus on something positive. At one point, he even became interested in creating devices that could improve people's lives. That was a huge step forward. Every time he did something kind or useful, we rejoiced with him, and his mood gradually improved.
Of course, I was constantly worried that he might revert to his old habits. His dark thoughts and plans still occasionally surfaced, and I was anxious that he might become evil again. Whenever he delved into his grim schemes, I tried to redirect his attention to something brighter and more positive. It felt like we were walking on thin ice, and any misstep could ruin everything.
I was particularly disturbed by his experiments, which were often unethical and dangerous. I felt revulsion towards how he treated his subjects and the experiments themselves. We began pushing him to reconsider his methods and think about the consequences of his actions. Gradually, he started to understand that he could be beneficial rather than harmful. His approach to his work became more responsible and ethical.
Over time, we saw Dr. Green begin to change. He became more open, started participating in community projects, and helped other scientists. His work ceased to be dark and threatening. Instead, he focused on creating inventions that could improve people's lives and help the environment. This path was not easy, but eventually, he became a kind and respected scientist. We were thrilled to help him see the brighter side and find the strength for change.
Sometimes he still experienced bursts of anger, but now they were directed at fighting injustice and improving the world. He used his passion and energy to do good rather than evil. We saw him becoming happier and more satisfied with his work and life overall. It was a true miracle to see him transform from an evil scientist into a kind and caring person.
Hooray! Tim defeated the final boss and we finally escaped from the prison. We are free!
Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.
Hello, are you subscribed to the channel? If not, go ahead and do it right now. Subscribe and hit the like button and we'll get started. Wow, we're in Enwy Barry's prison run. But, wait, why does everything look so boring? Even Barry doesn't seem scary. He's just sitting in the corner, sighing. Maybe this is a prison for boredom. It looks like Barry's having a crisis. He's just tired of his job.
A boring prison? That doesn't mean it's not dangerous. What if boredom is the most devious trap? We might start feeling too relaxed and then suddenly something happens. Maybe these gray walls are hiding something scary and Barry's just pretending to be bored.
Look at him. He's not even trying to catch us. Maybe we should call him over and suggest playing a game. You know, to cheer him up a bit. I think he's just been sitting around for too long. We should help him. Let's break out with some fun.
What? Do you seriously think Barry would want to have fun? I feel like he could be both angry and bored at the same time. And if he gets excited, he might hunt us down with double the energy. What if there are hidden traps behind all this boredom, ready to activate the moment we let our guard down?
All right, no relaxing. But at least look on the bright side. The first challenge is a huge room filled with foam blocks. It's like a playground. We just need to jump over these blocks and not fall into this... Wait, is that a pool of iced tea?
A pool of tea? That's odd. What if the tea is a trap? We could jump over the blocks and then get stuck in the tea forever. Or worse, it could be enchanted tea, and we'll feel bored like Barry for eternity. It's starting to feel weirder by the minute.
Come on. Just imagine it's a sweet drink and hop over the blocks. Look, I'm almost across the room already. Barry's not even paying attention to us. I think we've got a chance. Just don't fall, or you'll end up stuck here thinking tea is the main course forever.
All right, I'm coming. But if the tea turns sticky and we get trapped, it's all on you. What's next? I hope it's not another room filled with something even more boring. Oh, wait, I see it. It's a library, a massive library full of dusty books. I don't like this at all.
Oh, a library? What if these aren't just dusty books, but a portal to another dimension? Maybe if we find the most boring book, it'll open a way out. Or, okay, maybe Barry is just trying to make us read economics textbooks to drown us in ultimate boredom.
A portal? Sounds like a trap. We'll start reading and fall asleep forever. That's the perfect plan for a prison of boredom. I wouldn't touch those books. What if they're enchanted? We could get stuck in an endless lecture from Barry about... I don't even want to imagine what he might talk about.
Okay, let's avoid the library. But look at what's next. A room with giant clocks. They're ticking so slowly, I'm starting to understand why Barry is bored. But that doesn't mean we can't escape. We just need to run between the clock hands as they slowly move. Easy.
Clock hands? That's definitely a trap. If we make a mistake, they'll hit us, and then we'll be stuck in time? Trapped forever in this cycle of boredom? Or Barry will activate some kind of fast-forward boredom mode, and we'll be stuck repeating everything over and over again.
You've hit the nail on the head. But we can still beat boredom. Just dash through the clock hands, and I'm sure something exciting is waiting at the end. Maybe Barry will realize we won't give up and just let us out.
I don't know. I feel like Barry has way too much patience. Okay, let's run through these clock hands, but if anything goes wrong, I'm hiding behind the nearest gray wall. Hey, I think this is the perfect moment to share a few fun stories with our subscribers.
This time, Anxiety and I had one of the most challenging but incredibly fascinating tasks. Imagine this. We ended up as the emotions of an evil scientist. Yes, the very one who was always devising wicked plans and creating awful inventions. So here we were, living inside him, trying to change something. But I knew for sure that even in the darkest villains, you can find a good heart if you help them see it.
Oh, it wasn't that simple. This scientist was constantly coming up with something terrible, either a device to control people or a chemical substance that could destroy everything around. Every time he started a new evil scheme, I felt knots tightening inside me. What if he really harmed someone? I kept thinking. And although I always tried to warn him, my fears were often ignored. After all, he was so convinced of his mission.
But I didn't give up. I started telling the scientist about all the good he could do with his incredible intellect and inventions. I reminded him of how he could use his technology to help people. "Look at all the good you could bring to the world," I said, as he sat in his lab, surrounded by test tubes and tools. I knew that deep down, he wasn't truly evil. He was just lost.
But every time I saw him creating yet another sinister device, my heart would race. "This is too dangerous," I shouted, trying to stop him. "What if it gets out of control? What if your plan ends in disaster?" I was always on guard, knowing the consequences of his actions could be irreversible. And while Joy was trying to convince him to do good, I couldn't help but worry.
Then one day, a turning point came. The scientist had developed a machine that could control the weather. His original plan was to use it to create a destructive storm and show off his power. But I realized this was our chance. I began telling him how the same machine could help drought-stricken areas of the world by bringing much-needed rain. "You could be a hero," I exclaimed. "You could help millions of people."
I supported Joy, but in my own way. "What if your storm spirals out of control?" I asked the scientist. "You could accidentally destroy everything, but if you direct your invention towards something good, not only will you avoid catastrophe, but you'll make the world a better place." This time he seemed to hesitate. I saw uncertainty flicker in his eyes, and for the first time, he started to doubt his evil plans.
And that's when we saw a change in the scientist for the first time. Instead of creating a destructive storm, he used his machine to bring much-needed rain to drought-ridden areas. People in those places had been suffering from severe dryness, and thanks to his invention, they finally had water for their fields and drinking. It was his first step toward good. I could see him starting to realize the positive impact he could have, and my heart was overjoyed.
Of course, I was still worried. I couldn't help but think he might return to his old ways, but day by day I noticed his actions becoming more thoughtful and safe. He no longer built crazy, destructive machines, but instead began inventing things that could solve real problems. For example, he created a water purifier that helped cities with polluted water.
Oh, I was thrilled with each new good invention. Now, the scientist understood that with his knowledge, he didn't have to be a villain. He could be a true hero. Instead of causing harm, he was helping people. Anxiety and I watched him transform, and it was amazing. His lab no longer looked gloomy and sinister. It became a place where helpful inventions were born.
Now I was calmer. Of course, I still kept an eye on his work, reminding him about safety and potential risks. But now, I saw that he was paying more attention to me. He no longer sought destruction. Instead, he realized that good could be done without endangering others.
And that's how we helped an evil scientist become good. His intellect and creativity were now used for the benefit of people, not their destruction. He became a different person, and that was thanks to both anxiety and me. Together, we helped him find the light and his place in the world, not as a villain, but as a hero.
I'm glad I could help him become more responsible and thoughtful. And with Joy by his side, he learned that doing good brings more happiness than any wicked scheme. Now we're confident that he's on the right path.
So even the most wicked scientist can turn good if there's even a spark of light inside. And once again, anxiety and I proved that together, we can change even the darkest hearts. It all started when our friend Tim decided to try something completely new. He was going to perform on the school stage. It was his first time, and I was ecstatic. Just imagine how cool it is to step onto the stage in front of everyone and show your talent. I supported him as much as I could. "You've got this. It's going to be amazing. Everyone will love you." So that's our short story. Anxiety and I worked together again, and in the end, Tim really nailed it.
I was proud of Tim. Despite my worries, he managed it. And I realized that sometimes my fears can help with preparation, but Joy always knows how to provide support at the right moment.
And it went perfectly. Tim finished his performance to loud applause, and we were both so happy for him. He not only performed on stage, but also overcame his fears, which is the most important thing.
I was still nervous, but when I saw Tim starting to speak confidently and even smiling, I felt a bit relieved. Yes, I was still worried about every phrase he said, but Joy was helping him get through it.
But I couldn't let anxiety spoil all the fun so easily. I started telling Tim how great it feels to be confident on stage, how wonderful it is to hear applause and see people's smiles. You've prepared for this for a long time, you can do it, I said. We even practiced his speech together, and with each try, he felt more confident.
Oh, and at that moment, I couldn't think of anything positive. The stage? In front of a huge crowd? Everyone will be watching only Tim. What if he forgets his lines? Or starts stuttering? What if someone in the audience laughs and he gets flustered? These thoughts just wouldn't leave me alone. I went up to Tim and started whispering, "Are you sure? What if something goes wrong? This is a big responsibility."
Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Hello, everyone, dear friends. As usual, we're here with your favorite characters, joy, anxiety, anger, and disgust. Today, Tim is going to tackle a new mode called Anger Barry's Prison Run.
Is that Anger? Is that you? Did you lock us up, trap Tim in this scary prison?
No, anxiety, calm down. I don't know the guy who locked us up here. It must be my twin brother. Otherwise, I can't explain who he is because he really looks like me. Guys, subscribe to the channel and like the video, and also comment below why you think that guy looks so much like me.
Hey guys, look at the walls. Those are memories. How did they get there? Is Tim inside someone's head? How is that even possible?
Why assume we're inside someone's head? Maybe they're just colorful balloons and there's nothing more to it.
I understand. But we're in a ventilation shaft, and it's really scary. Tim, please, let's hurry up. I'm very scared.
Darn it, there's that guy who looks like me again. He spotted us. Let's get out of here.
Oh no, he's really close. I can't stand being near him. He smells awful. Tim, please, let's move to a more pleasant and comfortable place quickly.
Ventilation! I see the ventilation! We need to run there. We'll get away from him, and he definitely won't reach us there. Let's go!
Oh no, not there. We just came from there. I'm really scared of confined spaces. It's dark and cramped. What if Tim gets stuck? Aren't there any other options?
I'm about to explode. Who the hell is this guy? How dare he trap us here? How dare he chase after Tim? Once we escape, I'll sort this out. But for now, we have to stay alert and extremely cautious.
Oh no, oh God, it smells so terrible here. Why did we even come here? I can't stand any of this. Tim, let's get out of here as soon as possible.
See how strong our boy is. He'll make it. We'll definitely get to the end. But where exactly are we now?
Great, we ended up in a dungeon. Everything here is very bright. What if something collapses right on our boy? It's really scary, honestly.
Tim needs to be more careful and vigilant. Below us is lava. If Tim makes a mistake, he could fall right into it. We can't let that happen.
Oh my God, it's so cold, damp, and musty here. Can I please not look at this? Although I'll still feel it. It's awful. There are so many rats. It feels like we're the first ones to come here in hundreds of years.
Look at that big sphere. It looks mesmerizing.
Joy, that big sphere could crush Tim. It's really scary. What if he doesn't make it in time and gets squished? I'm afraid to even think about it.
Anxiety, calm down. Tim is doing great. He'll make it in time and won't get crushed. I promise.
I think Tim needs to be careful. He's almost done it.
Great, hooray. Tim has overcome that obstacle. Keep it up. Guys, I think it's a good time to share a few fascinating stories with our viewers. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and we'll get started. This story is about the invasion of alien monkeys. When we first saw them in our world, I felt a sense of adventure. These creatures were amusing and strange, with vibrant colors and unusual abilities. Although their arrival caused some commotion, I was thrilled to witness something so extraordinary and fantastic. There was joy in seeing the world in a new light and experiencing something unique.
However, I couldn't help but worry. The alien monkeys behaved very oddly. They started exploring the city, and it seemed like they didn't quite understand how things worked here. I was concerned that their behavior could lead to problems or even pose a threat to people. I tried to keep an eye on their actions, hoping that they wouldn't cause harm and could quickly adapt to our world.
Honestly, I was frustrated by how they were wandering around the streets and creating chaos. The monkeys were littering, building their toys right in the middle of roads and disrupting people's daily lives. I felt like we needed to stop them, or at least teach them to behave more respectfully. Why should we put up with their mess and disorder when they're the ones causing it?
When the monkeys started spreading their exotic products and gadgets, I couldn't help but feel disgusted. These strange things looked creepy and were completely messy. Where did they get all that dirt on their paws? And why did they decide to leave it on people's furniture and clothing? I hoped they would quickly learn how to behave in our world. Otherwise, it would become a big problem.
Fortunately, once their behavior stabilized a bit, I noticed that they began interacting with people and helping them with everyday tasks. The monkeys used their alien technology to create fun and useful things, which brought joy to many people. They became part of our world, and their presence added a unique charm to the everyday routine.
Although I saw that the monkeys were beginning to establish contact with people, I still worried that a new conflict or problem could arise. How would their relationship with us develop? Would they be able to adapt and understand that their actions needed to align with our customs? I kept an eye on the situation to be prepared for any surprises.
Sometimes I was still angry when some of the monkeys didn't fully grasp what they could and couldn't do. Their attempts to experiment with our technology led to annoying glitches and even breakdowns. It was extremely frustrating, but I knew that patience and understanding would help to improve their behavior and integration.
Gradually, as the monkeys learned to maintain order and respect our customs, my disgust began to fade. I realized that much of their strange behavior was due to their ignorance about our world. Once they settled in, it became clear that their presence could be interesting and even beneficial.
In the end, the alien monkeys found their place in our world. They became new friends and partners, and their unusual abilities helped people in various aspects of life. We learned to see the world from their perspective and understood that sometimes unexpected events can lead to amazing discoveries and new opportunities. We were all delighted that we could adapt and find common ground with these extraordinary beings.
Did you enjoy the story, friends? Do you want more? Then hit that like button and subscribe, and let's keep going.
Recently, Tim had a real blast. His parents decided to surprise him with a day of adventures at an amusement park. We were all, including me, thrilled about it. Tim couldn't wait to ride all the cool attractions, roller coasters, the Ferris wheel, and water slides. Everything was filled with laughter, bright lights, and fun. Tim was literally glowing with happiness, and it was contagious.
But of course, I couldn't fully relax. I was worried about Tim's safety on the rides. Some of them looked too fast and dangerous. I kept a close eye to make sure he was strapped in and reminded him to pay attention to the instructions. My anxiety grew when Tim and his friends decided to try the most extreme ride in the park.
I was a bit irritated when some of the kids in line for the ride started shouting and pushing. It was disrespectful and disrupted others, including Tim. It especially annoyed me when one of the boys started throwing trash on the floor. I thought if they were more considerate of others, everything would be much more pleasant.
Additionally, I felt disgusted by the state of some places in the park. Seeing dirty restrooms and unclean trash bins, I couldn't help but feel it ruined the overall experience. I hoped Tim wouldn't notice and get upset about the mess. I wanted him to focus on the fun and good experiences rather than the unpleasant details.
Fortunately, despite the small troubles and issues, Tim and his friends enjoyed every moment of the day. They laughed, screamed with excitement on the rides, and even with some inconveniences, the day was unforgettable. Tim was so happy that his smile could light up the entire day. We were all delighted to see him spending time with friends and enjoying all the park's joys.
My anxiety eased a bit when we saw that everyone got home safe and sound. I was relieved that Tim was cautious and followed all the ride instructions. Overall, the day went well despite minor worries.
I was still somewhat annoyed by some people's behavior in the park, but I realized it was important not to let these small things ruin the overall experience. Tim was happy, and that's what mattered most. I decided it was better to focus on the positive moments and enjoy that Tim had such a wonderful day.
Over time, I got used to the fact that large places have some unpleasant details. I was still glad that Tim was able to enjoy his day despite the minor inconveniences. It was important to see that he found joy in every aspect and enjoyed his time with friends.
And so the evening came to a close, and Tim was full of impressions and happiness. This day at the amusement park became a real celebration for him, full of adventures and fun. We were all pleased to be part of this special day, and I was proud of how Tim handled any challenges to make the day truly unforgettable.
So, how did you like the story? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know which mode we should try next time.
Guys, we've reached the final boss. Tim needs to defeat him.
He's huge and scary. Subscribers, help us.
He's disgusting. Tim, let's finish him off and get out of here quickly. I believe in you. You can do it.
Tim, tear him to shreds! Go, Tim! He deserves this! We're at the final stretch. Just one last push and we're free!
Look how well Tim is handling it. Keep it up. Go, Tim. Just a little more to go.
What if it hurts Tim? I'm so scared. Please, my boy, be careful.
Oh no! He's insane! Tim, show him. He has to pay for locking us up. Go on, just a bit more. I believe in you. Tear him apart.
Thanks for sticking with us, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you next time. Hello, everyone, dear friends. It's me, Joy, along with anxiety, anger, and disgust. Today, Tim is playing a mode called Minions Barry's Prison Run.
Hello, everyone. Look, Tim has been locked up here by the minions. There's one of them patrolling the corridor. Look, he looks scary, and he could harm us.
Forget about him. Let's escape through the ventilation quickly. Hi, subscribers. How's it going? Write in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is very important to us and to Tim.
Hi! This place is disgusting. Look at the walls and floor. Everything is covered in dust and dirt. Honestly, it was cleaner in the cell. Let's find a way out quickly. Subscribers, help us out!
Guys, let's stay optimistic. Everything is fine. Tim is smart and brave. He'll definitely find a way out of here. Where have we ended up? This room looks pretty strange, don't you think? Oh, look at that minion. He's so funny and cute, even though he's standing by the door.
Oh no! He's starting to move towards us. What should we do? We need to find a safe place quickly before he catches us.
Stop panicking. We need to move quickly and decisively. If we can make it to the ventilation, we can escape from him. Let's find our way and keep moving.
Oh no, not another ventilation. I can't stand these dirty, cramped spaces anymore. But if it's the only way to escape that dreadful minion, I'm ready to go through it.
We did it! We're in the ventilation now, and the minion can't reach us. Now we just need to find our way out and seize every opportunity.
Wow, what is this room? Everything looks so luxurious. And what if the chandelier in that room fell on us?
All right, we've ended up in the minions' dungeon. Tim needs to stay alert. Minions are very cunning and stealthy. They could appear right beside us at any moment. We must get through this challenge and move forward.
It's full of rats and so cold here. It's really disgusting. Guys, hit the like button and subscribe so we can get out of here as soon as possible.
Disgust. It's not that bad here. There's water, it's spacious, and it's humid. What's more interesting is what awaits us next. This is truly an exciting and amazing adventure.
Oh no, no, no! This huge ball could crush us! How do we move forward? It looks so terrifying. I'm about to cry from fear. Tim, please be careful. I'm begging you, make it to the end.
Anxiety. Tim is doing great. Come on, Tim, I believe in you. You can overcome this giant ball and make it to the end. Forward, just keep going.
Tim almost made it. Great job. He did it.
See? Even though you were worried, Tim has everything under control. He'll make it to the end.
Joy, I think this is a great moment to share a couple of interesting stories with our viewers. What do you think?
Yes, great idea. Let's share a couple of exciting stories with our viewers while Tim continues his adventure. I hope you'll enjoy them. Guys, have you hit the like and subscribe buttons? Then let's get started. This story is about Tim's transition to a new school. The first day at the new school was a real adventure. Tim was eagerly looking forward to it. There were many new faces around, and he was full of enthusiasm. I could feel his joy and inspiration. We eagerly watched as he smiled, made new friends, and explored his new surroundings. Each new discovery brought him joy, and his energy was simply contagious.
I couldn't help but worry about Tim. A new class, new teachers, new rules. Everything was new to him. I was concerned about how he would handle the adaptation and whether he would be able to get along with his classmates. Every little detail seemed important to me, and I was anxious about how he would feel in the new environment. I was scared that he might be left alone or that something might go wrong.
When I saw how some of the kids in class reacted to Tim, I was furious. I was irritated when some of the kids started teasing or showing unkindness. It was unfair. Tim deserved better than such taunts. I was ready to fight for his dignity and protect him from any attempts to belittle him.
Some moments of the first day were simply unpleasant. I felt disgusted when I saw the untidiness in the school cafeteria or locker room, and some kids behaved rudely and disrespectfully. All of this created an unpleasant impression and sometimes overshadowed the joy of new experiences. I was disappointed that the initial stage could be spoiled by such small things.
Despite all the difficulties, Tim managed to get through the first day. He found new friends and adapted to the new environment. His smile and positive energy returned when he realized that things weren't as scary as they had seemed at first. We were thrilled with his successes and the fact that he was able to overcome all the initial hurdles.
By the end of the day, I felt a sense of relief. Tim began to feel more confident, and his anxiety gradually subsided. Although I still worried about his adaptation, I saw that he started to get along with his classmates and felt more comfortable. It was reassuring.
I was glad that Tim was able to show who he was despite the initial difficulties. Even though some kids continued to behave inappropriately, Tim didn't let them break him and kept moving forward. I was proud of how he held his ground and didn't give in to provocations.
Although the first impression of the school had some unpleasant moments, I saw that Tim managed to overcome the difficulties and kept moving forward. It was important for him, and I understood that he was able to leave the negative moments behind and start a new chapter of his school life with a positive attitude.
Thus, the first day at the new school, though it began with worries and difficulties, became the start of a new and exciting adventure for Tim. We were happy to see his growth and development, and were confident that he would have many wonderful moments ahead. Hey guys, did you enjoy the story? Hit that like button and subscribe. When Tim watched the horror movie, he was thrilled by the plot and special effects. It was an exciting and tense adventure that kept him on edge until the very end. I was happy to see him enjoying the genre and how his eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. In the evening, he discussed the movie, sharing his favorite moments, and it was fun and interesting.
But as night fell, I began to worry. Tim became nervous and anxious, and although I knew the movie was just fiction, his fears started to haunt him. I was concerned he wouldn't be able to sleep, and that his nighttime fears might seriously affect his well-being. I was anxious about every creak and shadow that might remind him of the scenes from the film.
In the morning, when strange things started happening, I was outraged. Why did these things have to happen? It was unfair. Tim had already endured a night full of fears and anxieties, and now he was being plagued by oddities. It was simply unacceptable. I was ready to fight to protect him from any potential troubles.
When the oddities started occurring, I felt disgusted. The strange noises and mysterious events not only scared Tim, but also made me feel uncomfortable. I was distressed that reality seemed to be turning into a terrible movie that Tim had watched. It was unpleasant and gave me a sense of anxiety and distaste.
Despite all the fears and discomforts, Tim managed to find the strength to handle the situation. He began to see everything that was happening as mere coincidences and approach the situation with humor. His ability to find positivity, even in difficult situations, helped him overcome his fears and regain his calm. I was happy to see him smiling again and tackling all the problems with confidence.
As things began to settle down, I felt a sense of relief. Tim managed to handle the situation and regain his calm. Although I still worried about his nighttime fears, I was glad that he was able to see the events as part of his imagination and deal with them. It gave me confidence that he could handle any challenges that came his way.
I was glad that Tim could handle the situation despite all the discomforts. Although what was happening was unfair and annoying, he didn't let his fears take over and kept moving forward. I was proud of how he showed resilience and courage.
Although all these oddities were unpleasant and made me feel uncomfortable, I was happy that Tim was able to overcome his fears and return to a sense of normalcy. These events reminded us of how important it is to stay calm and not let fears and discomforts control us.
So, despite all the difficulties and nighttime fears, Tim managed to handle the situation and return to normal life. We were all happy to see his confidence and ability to deal with challenges. It was a lesson in how important it is not to let fears control you and to find joy and courage even in the toughest situations.
Hey everyone, our stories have come to an end. We really hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Your support means a lot to us.
While we were sharing stories, Tim has reached the final challenge. Mega Minion Boss. This is a very serious opponent, but we will crush him. Tim is strong and brave, and he will definitely defeat him.
Oh no, he's so big and gross. It's disgusting to look at him. Do we have any other options? Do we really have to fight him? Maybe there's a way to avoid him somehow.
Hooray! Tim defeated the boss. We did it. Tim has completed this level. Guys, you definitely need to like and subscribe for this. It's amazing.
It was really scary, but this level is truly interesting and dangerous. Guys, thank you for being with us. Thanks for watching and for your support. Bye for now.